everybody. So today we're going to have the next tasting of beer number 18 in my 2-hop series featuring Cascade and Centennial. There is 20 in this batch, so we've only got 2 more to taste for the 3rd and 4th times, but this one is using 2 pounds of 2-row, 4 ounces of honey malt, and 4 ounces of flaked oats. Now, beer 3 did use, I think it was half a pound of the oats. Then I'm not sure, but we did do a honey beer. So this is kind of bringing it together and making, let's say, a true IPA or somewhat hazy IPA. For the hop schedule, this is a small gallon batch, 1.25 gallons going into the fermenter. Our boil, 0.25 ounces of Centennial at 60, 0.25 ounces of Cascade at 10, 0.25 ounces of Centennial at 5 minutes. 3 days into fermentation, you will put 0.25 ounces of each for 7 days. This one is using US-05 yeast. This was bottled on 10/21, 7.52%. So, in my eyes, this is a double IPA. 7.5 and above are double IPAs for me. Good hiss. Some smoke still coming out there. Bubbles are rising, so let's go ahead and get it into this glass. I will leave the end in the bottle just because I want to see what the color is and how cloudy. Now, obviously, the more carbonation that's in there when you open it, it is going to flush some of that trub up, and you could get a hazier beer. Is it going to hurt us to pour the whole thing in there? No, but I want to see what the malts are doing and maybe what that oat is doing. Oat has protein, maybe it's a little cloudy. Now, this is an older beer. 6 months old, so it might be a little clearer because everything's settled out of it. So nice off-white khaki-ish color head, small and medium bubbles, a finger of head. Carbonation looks good, still looks good, lots of bubbles coming up, but this is what I would expect. The carbonation level to kind of go up over time just because it's sitting in there building up. But we have seen in some of the other reviews where we still don't have a head on some of these beers. I do have floaties in there, but that would be because, like I said, I bottled directly out of the fermenter, so hot particles are going to get in there. Golden yellow in color. I wouldn't say it's hazy, just lots and lots of bubbles coming up and lots of hop matter in there. Let's go ahead and smell. I get more citrus, like a grapefruit citrus in there, maybe a touch of floral, a touch of malt. There is some sweetness. I don't think that's from the honey malt. I think that's just from the malt in general. Maybe. It does smell kind of like an older, maltier beer, like a, if you wanted to say, almost like a syrupy beer, a high ABV beer where you're going to get that big malt character. Some of that is coming through, but it's a little bit sweeter. Then you get that grapefruit citrus. Let's go ahead and taste. Lots and lots of bubbles. Grapefruit citrus pretty much through the whole thing. You do get a little sweetness with that malt, almost like that smell. But yeah, I do get that grapefruit right up front, grapefruit citrus. Then as it warms up in your mouth, you start getting that sweet malt. Not very bitterness. The bitterness level seems low, or lower than I thought it should be. Let's say that. I think it's right. In the back and even the aftertaste, it's almost like a grapefruit rind. The bitterness is building. I think it's fine because I am getting kind of that grapefruit. So when you think of grapefruit in a beer, sometimes you get that rind bitterness in there, that bitterness just to balance it out. And I think that works in this. Like I said, definitely overcarbed. Pretty good. it is thicker beer, a thicker beer. So I don't know if the oats are doing that, thickening it up just a little bit, because we did drive out a lot of the sweetness. Um, so that would tend to tell me it should be a thinner beer than it's coming off. So maybe the oats did help with that. Maybe I'll write it down in one of these. I can make 2 batches and put oats in one and don't put oats in the other, and try and drive that ABV up. I guess most of the time I get a lot higher of an ABV than I normally would. I'm sure this was supposed to be like 6.2 or 5.8 or something like that, and it's up over 7.5. But I've seen it a lot where the higher the ABV, the lower the body, or the lighter the body is going to be. So adding some oats could help that body just stay fuller. But no, I think this is solid beer. Like I said, I think because it's 6 months old, that malt is starting to come on, and I think it works in this one. Just because it is a big beer, it's a double IPA. It still tastes like there's a ton of hops, like it's fresh hops, but you're drinking an older IPA as far as that maltiness goes. But yeah, this is definitely one that I would let age and drink right now. Maybe put one less carbonation tablet in there, so that way it's not over carbed, or just let it sit, warm up a little bit. I'm sure you'll get some more of that malt sweetness out of there. But yeah, good beer all around. So if you like this review, check some more homebrew videos out over here, and until next time, happy brewing.